Good afternoon. Welcome to your main newscast for today, Friday, June 30th, 2023. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman. Thank you for joining us. We get to the news in details. While former Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman has now pledged his support for renegotiating the lopsided Stabroek Block production sharing agreement he signed with an ExxonMobil-led consortium back in 2016, Vice President Bharat Jagdew insists that the government will not budge on this matter. Essentially, the contract will remain untouched even though the administration agrees that it frothed with several unfair provisions such as a meager 2% royalty and a tax-free ride. Trotman made two revelations. One, he was advised by Mr. Carlton James, a media specialist and Exxon's former director for government relations in Guyana, never to accept an invitation to enter into a gutter fight. So he stayed quite back. Then on criticism about the contract. And two, his view is that no contract is inviolable and therefore can be renegotiated. Hence, he supports any initiative to get a better deal from Exxon. A 34-year-old man identified as Delon Waterman was on Wednesday night stabbed to death at Riverview, Rhymeville, Georgetown while allegedly defending his 9-year-old nephew. We learned that Waterman's nephew got into an altercation with his alleged killer at a shop in the area. It resulted in the suspect assaulting the man's nephew. Eyewitness said that Waterman allegedly beat the suspect, but as he was walking away, the suspect armed himself with a knife and stabbed him. Waterman fell to the ground after running away and the suspect escaped. Waterman bled to death by the time help arrived. Investigations are ongoing. A pregnant woman, Lorraine Jeffers, has reportedly denied owing some $3 million worth of marijuana found in her premises at Tabachinga, Latham, Region 9. KANU had stated on Sunday that its ranks found 9 plastic wrapped parcels of suspected cannabis on her property. She was arrested and the drugs tested positive for marijuana. Jeffers, however, has reportedly denied owning the drugs and claimed that she had no knowledge of how they got on her premises. Meanwhile, the lawyer went on to accuse the KANU ranks of mistreating his client during her detention and interrogation. In other news, we tell you now that 309 ranks of the Guyana Prison Service recently graduated after completed training in several courses in the first half of 2023. The training is also geared towards promoting greater efficiency in the prison system, and according to a release from the prison service, ranks were trained by internal and external facilitators. They completed almost 50 courses including prison management, human rights, and supervisory management. Acting Deputy Director of Prisons and Head of the Staff Training Department, Kelvin Pilgrim, noted that the training is integral and will equip prison personnel with knowledge and skill to efficiently perform their duties while also respecting the rights of inmates. The National Procurement and Tender Administration Board Office has awarded a $51.6 million contract for the design and supervision service for the construction of the Hosarora Secondary School in Region 1. According to the information released on the MPTAB website, the $51 million contract was awarded to GR Engineering Company. This firm will provide design and supervision services for the construction of a modern school building and a dormitory in Hosarora to house 500 students in classroom, 250 pupils in dormitory, and 40 teachers. The body of Carl Sobratri, who went missing for over a week, was found on Thursday at Marshall Falls, located at the Lower Mazaruni River, Region 7. According to the police, Sobrati, a boat captain of Palmer's Point, Lower Mazaruni, was reported missing to them on June 18, 2023. Yesterday, just below the falls, his body was found lying face down in the river. Several bruises were observed about the body, which was in an advanced state of decomposition. The body was taken to the Bartica Regional Hospital, where it was officially pronounced dead, and later taken to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home for a post-mortem examination. An investigation is ongoing. Stay with us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. More news after the break. Stay with us.
It seems like children have been home from school forever, and you've done baking, drawing, schoolwork, and played Ring of Roses about 100 times. We've all been under some strain lately, but let us embrace our children. They're under strain too. Let's show them more love, patience, and care. Let's help to build their resilience in these trying times. Not just today or tomorrow, but for the future. Their future. A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
This is GHK Lal, inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues, immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
The much-awaited Digicel School Football Tournament. Get ready to witness the passion, the skill, and the excitement. Join us as we bring together schools from all 10 regions, fostering unity and sportsmanship from June 24th to August 13th. Prepare to experience the adrenaline rush as talented young athletes compete for glory on the field. So mark your calendars and join us as we witness the magic unfold. Keep checking press for the game's fixtures. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister retired Brigadier Mark Phillips on Thursday evening delivered the feature address at the United States 247th Independence celebrations hosted by its embassy in Guyana. The event was held at the Marriott Hotel and attended by foreign diplomats, members of the private sector, and members of parliament from both sides of the political divide. Prime Minister Phillips congratulated the U.S. on its landmark and spoke of working together to improve connectivity in Guyana's telecommunications sector. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgil has announced that the contract for the Quarantine River Bridge linking Guyana to Suriname is expected to be signed by October. This announcement was made during the second high-level decision-makers meeting and presentation by WSP Caribbean, a Trinidadian-based company, in the presence of Suriname's Public Works Minister, Dr. Rehad Noor Mohammed, on Wednesday. The meeting marked the final phase of the design and feasibility studies for the bridge. The Department of Public Information had reported that Minister Edgil expressed gratitude for the flexibility provided by the consultancy, allowing pre-qualified firms to access information before the final report was released. The pre-qualified firms are expected to submit their bids by the end of July, with the closing date set for August 1. The evaluation process will involve local evaluation as well as joint evaluation conducted by Guyana and Suriname. Once the evaluation is complete, the preferred contractor will be engaged. And that does it for your main newscast here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. But just before we head out of here, we now turn your attention to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News dedicated to being blunt. Today's blunt is titled, Jack Dio Stands Against His People. Everyone except Vice President Barrett Jagdeo is calling for the urgent renegotiation of the lopsided ExxonMobil contract. He finds all manner of excuses to support his position, and when the opposition dares to call for a change of the contract, he gets all vile and abusive. This is a leader who goes around the country begging Guyanese to support him and his party, but would not do right by them. He prefers to enrich the foreigners and his cronies while presiding over an impoverished nation. While in opposition to get the votes of Guyanese, he promised to renegotiate the contract. Now in government, he's telling the nation he never said that. Can such a leader ever be trusted? The answer is no.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our
Welcome to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lal on the National Outlook. It is the last day of the first half of 2023, the 30th of June. Oh, it's been a long road travel to get here. It's been a rough road. And we're going to talk about a rough topic continuing from yesterday. And from there, I want to segue into this business about oil and how it applies there. And you may be surprised. From last Thursday's Kaieteur News, CCJ holds hearing in Guyana. That's a good thing. And we have this picture here of these jurists. 1, 2, 3, 7 of them, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Maybe 9. Yeah, they had 2 sessions here for this year in Georgetown, Guyana. Upholds life sentence conviction of child rapists. Apparently, a child rapist had appealed all the way to the CCJ for 2 life sentences he got for raping a child. Having been found guilty, sentenced to 2 life sentences, 2 life terms in prison. I think that he got away easy. I think he got away too easy. He appealed, and I am delighted. I'm delighted. His case having passed through several layers of judicial scrutiny. And they said, guilty, guilty. And now he was before the CCJ for leniency. You don't give leniency to child rapists, child molesters, child stalkers, no leniency. These things should have a mandatory life sentence, quite frankly. We need to be draconian. It's a big word. We need to be serious and severe, as severe as we can be with those who target our children and taint them and damage them. Pardon me for being so strong on this. But how else can I be? How else should you be? This doesn't have party loyalty. This does not have cult leadership allegiance. This is about our humanity. This is about our decency. This is about our honesty, you and me. The CCJ upheld that life sentence, those 2 life sentences for this child rapist. Some court cases eventually are going to make its way involving Guyana and Exxon. And I'm laughing a little bit now, but I'm not really laughing. I'll be very interested, and all of us should be, as to how the CCJ will deliberate and adjudicate, how it will review what comes before it, how it will listen to the arguments that come about the rape of Guyana by ExxonMobil. Guyana is being raped, and it's all under legal contract, the sanctity of contract that Anil Nandalal and Bharat Jagdev and Irfan Ali, President, Vice President, Attorney General in reverse order, have rushed forward to side with Exxon and to beat us into the ground. Guyana is being raped. Every Guyanese is being raped with that contract by ExxonMobil. And I'm backing away from that statement. It is going to get, in some form or fashion, environmental protection or safety and so on and so forth. Cases are going to go before the CCJ. And I'm waiting to see, just like how it did with this child rapist, how it's going to deal with our concerns, our fears, our cries and our agony over the rape of this country, over the rape of our prosperity, over the rape of our destiny. My fellow Guyanese, we have endured a lot. It is time for these crimes to be discontinued. It is time for this impasse, these impasses, to be a thing of the past. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook this week, today and this week. And do have a wonderful weekend. And I pray and I wish that all of us will have a good July and a better second half of 2023. So long. So long.
Diana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a